Welcome to Flavor Balance Heat, the podcast for hot sauce lovers and makers. Welcome back to part 2 of the Flavor Balance Heat podcast with David Delcourt from Seed Ranch Flavor Co.
Hot sauce shout out. David, Did you see the note on there about bringing a hot sauce to show and tell? A hot sauce not of your own.
Oh my gosh.
To show off.
I didn't bring a hot sauce.
You can shout
not
out
on my
somebody
own.
too.
But you can just shout out one that you like. You don't have to have it in hand.
Well, I already shouted out the Yellow Bird's Sriracha, which I am a big fan of. Let's see what else. You know, Dirty Dick's. I remember the first New York hot sauce show I did, tasting his Chipotle, or I can't remember the name of it, but it's in my cabinet. But that was, again, one of those ones that I was like, oh, okay. And then OG, but Stacy up at Secret Aardvark and their classic habanero. Such a basic is the wrong word. It's not basic. It's actually amazing.
Really
core.
flex, yeah.
Classic core. Thank you. Those are some of the fun ones. And I'm sure you guys have the same, but like I'll trade people for hot sauces. I'll taste new stuff, and I'll like Black Eyed Susan in New York. Those guys are great. They also use a chocolate habanero in one of their sauces that is a little hotter than like what I typically like to use on a daily basis, but I got the bottle. So for the right kind of soups or various things, I'll pull that one out. So I've got, unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, depending on who you ask, it was a shelf that became a cabinet that became like a cabinet and then a shelf in the garage. And it's just so many sauces that I have learned to love on very certain foods. And that's how I tend to use them. Is like, all right, if I'm going to have a Louisiana style gumbo kind of meal, I know exactly where I'm going. If I'm going to go fried food, I know where I'm going. And probably similar to you guys, I primarily eat my own sauces because I feel like I've got a nice range. Yeah. But there are those pockets where it's like, oh, you know what? I don't have the perfect sauce for that. And rather than going back to the pre-2017, 16 roots of mixing everything together, I'm like, I don't need to do that. I can just go and jump on in. But yeah, I would say I went pretty classic, didn't I? I went, Yellow Bird, Secret Aardvark. But
you can't go
an
wrong
old
with
soul
those, though.
in many ways.
Yeah, those are good choices.
What about you, Claire?
I brought one I haven't had yet. Corn.
Oh, I've had that sauce. That is so good.
Yeah,
I have tried it.
And I was actually, this is Corn Sleigh. Is that their spicier one, or is that okay? Yeah, because I think I actually
I don't know if
their,
it's spicier. I've had that one.
Or
maybe
it's
I've only had their milder, or the first one they came out with.
I feel like I've had one, but this was in my box of unopened sauces, so I clearly haven't had this one yet. So I need to pull it out. But heartbeat, yay heartbeat. So
I went through that bottle faster than most sauces I've gone through. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
Where do you guys land with the plastic side of things?
Well, we use plastic.
You use plastic? Okay.
We do the Secret Aardvark style bottle.
Got it.
So the hot fill. Yeah.
Yeah.
We use glass. We have some clients who use plastic, so we do use plastic on their behalf. I'm a much bigger fan of glass than I am of plastic.
Oh, I can see.
For lots of reasons.
One of the Secret Aardvark styles in the top.
Yeah, that's
right your frame.
There you go. That's Spikes.
That's my ketchup.
Ketchup. Yep. I also have unicorn blood over here too. So.
Oh yeah, that is an old label. Oh my gosh, I got to send you the new one.
Well,
I haven't refreshed what's back there in a while. Actually, I've got some of my old labels up here, but
I wish I had a cool setup like you do, Claire, where I've thought about it, I've done it, but I'm like, I'm not enough of a designer to like have a set space.
Well, I built this for the podcast. This is actually, I'm in my basement and the door to my furnace is right here. And then I've got a window right here. So I can tap on both at the same time. And it's this like random little nook in the basement that we had, I think, a wine fridge in here before. A wine fridge that we stopped using.
It's just the illusion of hot sauce grandeur, and I love it.
Yeah. So, and it was one of the very first guests. I want to say it was like Bear River. The first guest when I started interviewing had shelves of hot sauce behind them. And I think they were in like their office or something. And I was like, I should do that. Now, after I did this, because everybody said for podcasts, you should have a cool color, like a blue. And I realized I don't like blue. I should have done red or orange. And but I don't want to take the shelves back down and repaint it. So, and then also, I mean, this barely shows as a video thing anyway. It's mostly an audio thing. So
yeah,
it's there.
For me, you know what we should do, just for fun, for like the internet one time, we should show like behind us.
What's like behind the scenes?
Do a little because
if
I've got my Joe Rogan. The only thing that's like Joe Rogan in our podcast is my red curtain, and behind it nobody's allowed to see. So I'd have to clean.
No, you don't need to see that.
Well, and the opposite for me, what I'm facing is this is our workout area of our basement. So we've got a recumbent bike, an elliptical, and a spin bike. And so if I turn it around, it's just exercise equipment and game shelf and basement.
You know, I know for a fact our fans would love it if we showed that stuff.
Got a lot of Lego
that will probably
sets.
be your most viewed and listened to episode. Maybe listen to you give them the audio of like the weird stuff you have in the room. It's like this is an old pop socket from like kids. Yeah.
You
just do the ASMR.
Tim will send us hey Tim, how are you out there? I haven't heard from you in a little while, but Tim often will send us a message, and we'll probably get a message if we send something like that out there.
I'm Claire George. I own Butterfly Bakery of Vermont. We make hot sauce, mustard, cookies, and granola, and 100% of our products are made with Vermont ingredients. The thing that I hear most often from people is that my hot sauce tastes like the peppers that are in it. We do really simple recipes that don't get too crazy and nitpicky, just to really accentuate the flavor of the peppers that are in there. The unique thing about our hot sauces is how much we feature the farm and the relationship with the farm, and really bring the terroir of Vermont to our hot sauces. I am pretty sure I am the #1 purchaser of Vermont-grown chili peppers. I would love it if there would be a legitimate pepper market in Vermont where people would know Vermont for its peppers. We're all better for supporting each other. And I think that part really shows itself with the collaborations that I do with the other businesses and the other farms, that I love working together and coming up with new ideas and presenting each other with new challenges. And I think overall that's the attitude here. And I absolutely love it because that's my attitude. I try to live my life with love. The ingredients that I use, I would say that my values are reflected in that I use ingredients that, again, feel good, feel loving, feel supportive. The relationship with the farmer was how it all began. If I changed the reason for it being, if I went out and bought some commodity peppers, it might not be as good.
You can find Butterfly Bakery of Vermont hot sauce, mustard, granola, and cookies at butterflybakeryvt.com. My sauce, I wanted to, so since we have a Colorado guy out here, I figure Derek at Colorful Colorado Creations, he's a good dude.
Nice.
I haven't talked to him in a while, so hey, Derek, I hope you're doing well. I just was thinking, I'm so bad at like messaging people. I'm just not good at it. And Zach is so good at staying in touch with everybody, and he
sent me a message this past week, and I need to respond.
Yeah, I mean,
I understand that, and it is a small world. And now that you say Colorado, I'm like, okay, we got Green Belly, we got Cooper's hot sauce, we got Colfax Killer, come on, brain, Sauce Leopard.
Yep. Yeah.
Chiporo, some great sauces. And what's funny is like Juan from Green Belly and I used to sell at the farmers market together. Same thing with Carlos from Chiporo, who's now one of our co-packers, right? Does a killer job. And we all do different enough sauces where it doesn't feel, once again, it's that idea of filling in the gaps of your perfect hot sauce wall. And let's be honest, our perfect hot sauce wall is probably like 60 bottles of hot sauce, right? Because there's that many different applications, from your super acid Louisiana style to down to your super base oil tomato kind of version. I've always dreamt of doing a sauce called the Italian Stallion with like Calabrian chilies and like tomatoes, oven roasted tomatoes or like fire roasted tomatoes. There's a little bit of something for everybody, but I really appreciate it when people do something a little bit outside of the norm. We played with putting activated charcoal in sauce. So I made it was like a blueberry, what was it? It was like a blueberry ghost pepper, something else in there, similar to, it was a black sauce. So it was completely black. And I ran it by a bunch of my kind of consiglieres, confidants, people I always talk with, and everybody was turned off by the color.
Yeah.
They were like,
"Oh wow,
black is a weird color for a hot sauce." Same way as if we go to a show, we always only bring one green sauce because nobody wants to buy more than one green sauce. You give them a red, off red, light red, dark red, no problems. Orange, yellow, but I'm assuming yellow would probably be the same. It's kind of like hot sauce lives in this color band that's like a bell curve, where the weird ones on the outside, including green, it's like just one. If we have two green sauces, people will choose one or the other. Doesn't matter.
It's true. I hadn't thought of that.
Well, and with activated charcoal, I did hear from somebody that it will break down the heat. So over time, as it sits, it becomes less hot.
Interesting.
So
right, because it soaks up everything. And like one of the things I had read when we were playing with that was you have to be, especially if you have like prescription drugs or any type of, you have to kind of avoid it because it'll soak everything up. So it soaks up the good, the bad, and it kind of neutralizes
everything.
That's like we've got one of our most popular sauces called Unicorn Blood. It's an orange chipotle. Actually, Claire had the bottle, and during COVID we used blood orange originally, and we had to switch away from blood orange. And now we're back to blood orange, but blood orange is related to grapefruit, and we have a grapefruit sauce, but people need to know it. And so we've had to make a big to-do about switching back to blood orange. Today actually is the first day we're switching back because we want to make sure that the people that are taking medication know, because it'll mess with their medication. Yeah.
The more you know, we become amateur scientists, don't we?
Right?
Yes, it's great.
So what's next for you?
Trying to keep going. I mean, you know,
that's the best answer we've got.
I'm into year 8. We've got new flavors, we've got new partners, we got some big fun stuff on the horizon, and you know, I'm wouldn't have said that I imagined being in the hot sauce world 10 years on in the same way, but at the same time, a lot of back to Chief of Flavor as the title. Like, my favorite part of what I get to do is jumping in the kitchen and creating a new sauce for me, for somebody else, whatever it is. And it's become increasingly a smaller and smaller part of what I do. And Claire, you said, you know, the person who brings you down the flavors to taste, whatever. Like, you know what I mean?
I know.
All of a sudden you become the manager rather than the creator. And I'm sure you're part of the creation process too. But it is that idea of 3%, 5% of what I do is actually getting my hands dirty and doing what really motivated me to get this started in the first place. And so I am excited about doing that more, especially with our private label kind of partners and customers, and thinking around more of that flavor creation, being a designer of taste rather than just a salesperson and marketer on a daily basis, right? And I don't know, I'm trying to think of anything. We recently jumped into barbecue sauces, so we have a Rocky Mountain barbecue and a Rocky Mountain hot barbecue, both of which use Colorado produce. So we use
Nice.
upcycled Palisade peaches again, super cool ingredient, and then we use Pueblo chilies for
nice.
It's like I would call it a grocery store mild, right? It's like I would never put it into a hot sauce competition as a hot barbecue because it just doesn't hit that, but it has that nice green chili flavor, a little bit of punch, super fun. So just getting it a little bit outside of maybe what I would say is our pure comfort zone and playing with some ingredients we haven't used before or some channels we haven't sold into, and just continuing down that path. And yeah, Dubai, who knows? I mean,
there you go.
The new goal maybe is now to become the hot sauce kings and queens of the Middle East. That'd be a blast.
There you go.
That sounds great. That sounds great. David, do you have any questions for us?
Well, I think my basic question is like, why'd you guys start what you did, both in terms of hot sauce, but also the podcast? Like what motivated you? I love this community, and I think we all know a lot of the same people and folks we've met once or twice, or we've seen year after year. It's a tight knit community. In some ways, we're competing with each other, and in other words, we're just always collaborating. So, like, what got the company and the podcast moving?
Claire?
Yeah. So, well, for me, I started my company as a bakery in 2003. So I've been doing this forever, and this has changed pretty dramatically over time, obviously. So I started the bakery because I can't eat cane sugar, and I wanted to make yummy things that I could eat that weren't gross. And it just evolved over time. It evolved to kind of meet demand, to meet my needs, to meet kind of where I was in life. It changed a lot, obviously, when I started making hot sauce, and that was like 2011. And then it changed even more dramatically when my kids were born, because then my focus kind of changed and actually made me kind of better at it. The company grew a lot because I would hire people to do things rather than just trying to do it all myself. And I like making things, and I like creating things, and I love the hot sauce community. It's very similar to the Vermont specialty food world. Those are kind of two supportive food communities that I have, where you can just reach out and say, with any question, you can just ask, you can get support, you can get advice. I always, in both communities, I just always laugh when somebody is like, no, you're my competition. And I'm like, you have fun lasting long, huh?
Yeah.
It's, I really love what I do. And I repeatedly take on things that I never thought I would enjoy doing. And some of them I don't enjoy doing, but I just, my business makes me put on lots and lots and lots and lots of different hats, and I'll take them on and do the thing.
Love it.
So I was chef, and I was starting to get old and break down, and the little bar that I worked in Eugene, my Monday wing night got busier than Saturday night. Like, we couldn't keep wings in the place, and it kind of we had fans that would come, and they were like, why don't you open a wing place? And I didn't have the money for that, but I thought I could start with the sauce, and that was it, As far as a podcast, Zach and I used to have phone calls where we would complain about kind of cowboy hot sauce makers that don't do the process properly and really make us all look bad to people, because they've got this, they don't have any idea about a proper way to make hot sauce that's clean and not going to make anybody sick. And some of them would do it regardless of what anybody said, and that would always annoy us. We'd get on phone calls and talk about it. And one day I was just like, why don't we create a place where people like us, when we were new, could have just gone, and that's just the way it's done. We talk about it with other hot sauce companies, And we learned that that's just the way it's done. We don't give them a choice to do it the wrong way. We just show the right way. Flavor Balance Heat, the podcast for hot sauce lovers and makers, is brought to you by Irish Spike's unique hot sauces and Vandal pepper sauces. I'm Spike, the owner and executive saucier. Our sauces are handmade in the Pacific Northwest using the best possible ingredient. We believe that hot sauce equates to a balance of sensational heat coupled with a robust and complex flavor profile. Live your hottest life with Irish Spikes. Irish Spike's unique hot sauces and Vandal pepper sauces are available at saucecult.com. And so that's what we do. And Claire was one of our early guests. And as soon as we got done talking to Claire, I said, or I think we both said, she needs to be our next host. And the rest is history.
And I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, it does make our podcast a little bit more identifiable in the sea of hot sauce podcasts, in that I'm one of the only women who is hosting a hot sauce podcast. I mean, I don't know if I could name another. I mean, I do know of women who host podcasts who are in the hot sauce world, but they're not hosting hot sauce podcasts. So. Well,
and Zach and I actually talked about that. We specifically didn't, as we put it, didn't want to make it a sausage fest. So. Yeah. Yay.
An apt metaphor.
Yeah. Speed round. Let's do this real quick. So I'm going to ask you a bunch of quick questions. Just give me a quick answer. Nothing real in depth, okay? You win the lottery. What's the first hot sauce related thing you buy?
Saffron.
Oh, I like that. Nice. If you had to give up the hot sauce business but could do anything else, what would you do?
This is going to be so unfun, but I have for a very long time been a credit card miles and points nerd, and I kind of do a little bit on the side, and I've traveled for free for like the last 18 years. I'd go into that.
Nice.
Awesome. Okay.
It's strange, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You get one hot sauce for the rest of your life. It's your Desert Island hot sauce. It can't be one of yours. Who is it?
I was going to say, because I always tell people Umami Reserve is my Desert Island hot sauce. Literally my words. Oh, man. It's going to be a toss-up between the two I talked about. Secret Aardvark, Habanero, the classic, or the Yellowbird Sriracha, because those... I think I'm going to go with Secret Aardvark.
Yeah, it can be on anything. That makes sense.
It really...
That makes sense.
It works. And the plastic squeeze bottle, as much as I said we don't use plastic, I'm like, it's useful. It's really, a very convenient thing.
We get a lot of compliments on it, and I had to thank Stacy for the inspiration. If you could go back in time and change one thing about your business journey, what would it be?
I would say paying a lot more attention to our local regional sales push rather than trying to jump into the big game without the big game money behind me. I'll just leave it at that.
Excellent piece of advice.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the best business advice you've received?
I think I just said it, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know. I really think it's that big fish, small pond. Own your backyard, then you can move on to the region. Then and part of that is understanding where you want to take a company, or do you just want to make really good sauce, or do you want to build a big company? And understanding those two things and how you grow them and how much money you need to grow them, or and understanding that if you go national with Whole Foods, you're free filling every single one of your flavors, plus you're paying slotting fees into UNFI and into their DCs and all this stuff. That's also another podcast topic, but understanding the numbers through and through.
Which might be a good topic podcast for us to do one day, Claire. Let's see here. If you could collaborate with any hot sauce company, who would it be?
You guys. Come on now.
Nice. That'd be great.
All right. You can skip this one if you want. Some people prefer to, but it's one of my favorites. If you had to fight another hot sauce company owner, who would it be and would you win?
Oh, I love this. Okay. I'm gonna go with Brandon Clark from Clark and Hopkins because I really like his sauces. They're totally different. They're geographically based. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like we're both kind of old dogs. We'd go to the end, but we wouldn't kill each other. We'd probably end up bruised and battered and like cracking open a beer and cheersing and having a good time.
Nice.
I like it. All right. If you had to pare down to only one sauce, what would it be?
In terms of what I'm selling, what I'm eating,
whatever you what you're selling, but it doesn't have to be by popularity. It can be just by what you decide.
I'm gonna go back to smoked jalapeno. So that was the first sauce that I came up with. Chipotle, sweetened with a little date and carrot, cumin, garlic. Super simple sauce, but I love that smoky touch of sweet. Yeah,
awesome.
That's the one.
All right. If your brand were a caveman, would it be a hunter or a gatherer, and why?
I guess I would go with gatherer. I mean, that was Seed Ranch, right? It's part of our whole ethos. It's not about just going out there and doing as many things as fast as we can. It's about thoughtfulness into each flavor. It's about thoughtfulness into how we grow the business and lessons learned there too. But there you go.
I love that. Describe your favorite hot sauce, your favorite from your line using, your favorite hot sauce from your line without saying a single ingredient or heat level.
Umami Reserve is the earthiest, perfect level of heat sauce that goes on anything. It enhances the flavor of the food that you put it on without changing the flavor of the food that you put it on. In other words, it's just going to add depth and kind of breadth. It's almost like an MSG, but from real ingredients for any of the meals that you cook.
I like it. All right, last one. If Pepto-Bismol asked you to make a hot sauce using Pepto-Bismol, what flavors would you put in it, and what heat would you use?
Oh. Well, if it's Pepto-Bismol, you got to go hot because that's what you eat when it's gone too hot. I'm gonna go. It's so strawberry fruity. I think you got to go like a ghost or reaper with. I'm again gonna go fruity, but I would love a grapefruit ghost kind of flavor on there. Get some citrus, but a little bit of sweet. I love it. Even the blood orange that you were talking about with unicorn's blood, that sounds right up the line of a Pepto-Bismol sauce that you would put on something that you never want to eat again.
There you go. That's it. We're done. Thank you so much. This has been a Spike Mind Media production.